My cheating wife came home and found a for sale sign and a brutal gift. Reddit cheating stories. The moment I saw her phone light up with his name, my world collapsed in silence. You'd think betrayal comes with a bang, with screaming and broken glass, but no, it comes like a whisper, creeping in quietly until it consumes every corner of your heart. My wife, Emma, the woman I had loved and trusted for over 10 years, wasn't really mine anymore. She had given herself to another man while still living under my roof, while still smiling at me over dinner, while still pretending to be my partner in this life. At first, I wanted to deny it. I told myself maybe it was harmless flirting, maybe I was overthinking. But the late nights at the office, the sudden obsession with her appearance, the guarded phone, they all spoke louder than her excuses ever could. When I finally followed her one night and saw her slipping into a hotel with him, my hands trembled so violently that I thought I'd collapse right there in the parking lot. The woman I had built my life around had been building a secret one without me. For days, I drowned in confusion. Do I confront her? Do I forgive her? Do I scream, cry, beg? I felt like a stranger in my own skin. But then something inside me shifted. I realized I had already been begging for scraps of her affection long before I caught her. I had already been living half a life. And in that moment, the pain hardened into something else, clarity. I didn't need to scream. I didn't need to beg. I needed to take back my life. So I started planning. First, I called a real estate agent. Our house, the one we had picked together, painted together, laughed and cried in together, would no longer be hers to desecrate. I wanted her to know that the home she betrayed me in was no longer her sanctuary. I signed the paperwork, arranged everything quietly, and when the bold red and white, for sale, sign was hammered into the front lawn, I felt something I hadn't felt in months, peace. But I wasn't finished. I wanted her to understand the depth of what she had destroyed. So, I prepared a gift, if you could call it that. A neatly wrapped black box, tied with a crimson ribbon. Inside, I placed the evidence, printed photos of her with him, hotel receipts, text messages I had saved. And on top of the pile, I wrote a single note in bold letters. Congratulations. You got the man you wanted, and you lost the man who would have died for you. The day she came home, I wasn't there. I couldn't bear to see her face, not after everything. But I imagined the scene all the time. Emma pulling into the driveway, her keys in hand, pausing in shock as her eyes land on the for sale sign. Her heart racing, confusion flooding her. And then, the final blow, the black box waiting for her on the porch, like a silent messenger of the life she had just destroyed. From what I later heard, she fell to her knees on the steps, sobbing uncontrollably, clutching the note as though it could somehow undo what she had done. But that was the thing, there was no undoing. The house, the marriage, the future we once planned, they were already gone. In the weeks that followed, she tried to contact me. Phone calls, emails, even showing up at my work. She begged, she apologized, she blamed her loneliness, her stress, her unhappiness. But I had already made peace with my choice. Forgiveness may come one day, but reconciliation never would. I had chosen freedom over chains, self-respect over humiliation. It wasn't easy starting over. The nights were quiet, painfully so. I missed the sound of laughter in the house, even if much of it had been an illusion. I missed believing I was loved. But as time passed, I learned something important. Sometimes the greatest act of love is the one you give yourself, the permission to walk away. Emma ended up moving in with the man she cheated with, but from mutual friends, I heard it didn't last. They fell apart within a year. And while she spiraled, I began rebuilding. I traveled, reconnected with old friends, picked up hobbies I had abandoned. I started living, not just surviving. And here's the truth I want anyone listening to remember: betrayal is not the end of your story. It feels like it, I know. It feels like the death of everything you are. But sometimes, betrayal is the painful rebirth of who you were always meant to be. When someone shows you they don't value your love, the bravest thing you can do is stop giving it to them. That day, when my wife came home and saw the for sale sign and that brutal gift, it wasn't just the end of our marriage. It was the beginning of my freedom. And I don't regret it, not for a second.